read, have you ever thought about how hard it is to pick out the important information, or how hard it is to keep everything that you read in your brain?
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard, isn't it? It is so hard that sometimes we get lost in that kind of stuff, don't we? And it's really hard to go back and figure out what's important and what's not, right? It's really hard to keep all of that in our brains, and we know that. And so sometimes your brain automatically either shuts off, or what does it do?
Gives up.
It what?
Gives up.
Sometimes it gives up. What else does your brain do? If there's tons of information, what does it do?
It stops. It just stops.
But if it doesn't stop, what else does it do?
It just like pauses.
It's what?
Pause. Your brain just like pauses.
You take a pause, don't you? It pauses, and then what happens after you pause?
You like forget what you were just thinking about.
Oh, you forget what you read, and sometimes you have to go back. There's all kinds of information that we read, especially for you guys, because you read lots of nonfiction in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our book is full of it.
It happened to me before.
I bet it did. It happens to all of us, doesn't it? Exactly. Today, I'm going to help you figure out what's important and what's not. We're going to do a tiny experiment, and we're going to talk about how this experiment might show you what happens in a reader's brain when there's lots of information, and when a reader has to figure out what's important and what's not. Okay? So I want you to think about that. So I have a pot there of some spaghetti. Yep. Yeah. And you can just stand up in your spot. It's nothing you haven't seen before, but just in your spot, though. Just in your spot.
It's
Thanks.
a noodle.
Yeah. When you boil spaghetti, what's it in?
Water.
Yeah.
Water.
What else is in there?
Water.
Water.
Is it hot?
Okay?
No.
Here's what I want you to think about as I do this. I want you to think about how this is showing you what happens to a reader when they read important information. What are you looking for?
The importance?
Yeah? What is this experiment trying to show you?
Oh, how to make a noodle. It's trying to show you what's important and what's not.
Ah. Say that again.
It's trying to show you what's important and what's not.
You're looking at this and you're trying to figure out what a reader does to figure out what's important and what's not. Okay? Watch what happens.
That's important, that's not.
What happened?
All the water came out.
All the water came out.
That's important, right?
What do you think?
Yes.
What do I have left?
Noodles.
Noodles.
And some water.
What am I going to do with this?
You're going to put it back in the rain.
But what am I going to do with these noodles? If I'm going to have dinner, what am I going to do with these?
You're going to cook them?
Okay, but they're already cooked. What am I going to do with them?
Put them on a plate.
I'm going to put them on a plate and
With the
eat
sauce.
them. Probably eat them, right? What am I going to do with this water down here?
Don't drink.
You shouldn't dump it.
I'm going to throw it away, right?
Yeah.
That water's getting thrown away. So I'm going to keep the what?
Jalen?
I'm going to keep the noodles. And what am I going to do with that water?
Throw it
I'm going to throw it away. Sit down. I want you to talk to your partner for a second about how you think this shows you important information and not important information.
Well,
And where does it go?
the noodles?
The noodles are important because
It's like the noodles were the important because
the water's not really
because
that important.
it's always the noodles.
It's not
The
that
water
important
because
because
the water just like because you weren't gonna keep the water, so that's why you don't throw it away. Just like it's just not important. It's the information you
So
throw
yeah,
out.
it's pretty important.
Say like you have trash. And then once you take it out, you're not trash, and then you throw it in or not good trash.
But water can be important, but it's not really important after you're done with it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I love the conversation you're having. Tanner, I'm going to start with you. What did your group say about this? What is this showing that's important and not important?
It's like when like the noodles are like your brain part, and like the water's just like that. Those thoughts are just like interrupt you and stuff. And once you like take it out, it means you can read a lot better.
Ah, he said the noodles are your brain, and the water is sort of those distracting thoughts that get you all muddled up. And what did you say after that?
I said like and then you can read much better.
Then you can read much better when all of those things are dumped out. I really like that analogy. That's really interesting that you said that. So he said the noodles are like your brain. Is that why your mom calls your head your noodle?
Yeah. She never says that.
What did you guys say?
We said like, say like you have like non-good trash and good trash, but you throw away the distracting trash that your mom wants you to clean up,
That is
and then
the
you
bad
keep
trash.
the good trash, the interacting thoughts, which makes the interacting thoughts better than the distracting thoughts because you get focused more than distracting the.
So the spaghetti is like your focus. The spaghetti is the thing you're focusing on. Then the water is
Trash.
okay. The stuff you want to throw out. What did you guys say, Elias? You and Joseph were having a really great conversation.
I said that when you have noodles, like when you're cooking it, if you don't have noodles, it's not really a recipe because you need the noodles, but the water can be important, but after you're done with it, you don't need it.
The water can be important. Was that water important when I was boiling it?
Yes.
I needed the water, didn't I? Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to eat the noodles. Is that sort of how a story works or how an article works? Do you need all of those details?
No.
You do, otherwise you wouldn't have an article or a story. But that spaghetti or those important pieces of information are the things that you want to hold on to. The details are things that you can usually get rid of later or toss aside. Is that water still important, like Elias said? Yeah.
Yes.
But not necessarily the whole time. We need that water or we need those details, but
to drink.
not all the time. We're going to only pick out our important pieces of spaghetti or our important pieces of information and toss the rest aside. We're going to practice doing that today.